Estimates suggest an upwards of 10 million liters of Iranian petrol is smuggled off to countries on a daily basis, which comes out to 3.65 billion liters every year. That is the equivalent of nearly 63,000 barrels of oil per day. For context, Pakistan's total oil production comes out to approximately 89,000 barrels per day out of a total consumption of approximately 556,000 barrels per day as of 2016. Of course, not all smuggled Iranian oil comes to Pakistan, but the amounts that do are quite staggering. Ariba Shahid looks at how the smuggling of Iranian oil and PSO's inaction is hurting Pakistan. Gasoline is incredibly cheap in Iran. Tehran keeps domestic gasoline prices low through government subsidies of nearly 90%. Add a devalued currency and what you get? Fuel that is approximately 3 times cheaper in dollars compared to global benchmark prices, typically set in trading in markets in London and New York. As a result, the circumstances make it seem lucrative to smuggle since it will fetch a much higher price in neighboring countries. This is a good deal for people in the petrol business on both sides, but it is not good for either state. In the case of Iran, every liter of smuggled oil is a liter that cannot be sold at global prices to help cover their massive fiscal deficits. And in the case of Pakistan, every liter of smuggled oil is one on which the heavy import duties, sales tax, and petroleum levies cannot be charged. One of the reasons for this ease in smuggling is a lack of oversight about suppliers. Despite keeping a draconian eye on its customers because of its obsession with money laundering, Pakistan has incredibly lax oversight on suppliers, particularly when it comes to petroleum. One would assume that PSO follows similar, if not stricter, requirements that a bank follows while opening up an account while choosing suppliers. It's not like PSO does not ask for detailed information from their suppliers. They do, in the form of a 46-page document. However, as an anonymous source explained to Profit, while PSO is going forward with its due diligence, the scale at which it is done is simply not enough. The source alleges that punters have entered into the supply chain and are putting Pakistan's supply at risk. And considering that a petroleum shortage in Pakistan is a sneeze or a thunderstorm away at all times, the thought is a terrifying one. So even if the PSO catches on to a company sourcing their petrol illegally and blacklists them, all that company needs to do is make another company letter and produce the other documents required. According to PSO, it's not necessary for a bidder to own a refinery. Globally, the oil industry operates through traders which may or may not be backed by a refining business. However, in attempts to encourage healthy competition, PSO is forgetting one thing. Petroleum is fundamentally a blended product. This means that when you are buying from a trader that is not backed by a refinery, you do not know what is blended and from where unless a refinery or a company provides documents. So what should the PSO be doing? For starters, PSO needs to inquire about certificates regarding blended products and should be traceable. One should know where the fuel is from and of what quality. Why is this important? Because the FATF and other regulatory organizations have made it clear that Pakistan must stop importing fuel from sanctioned countries like Iran. The PSO said that if anything of the sort happens, they are in the clear. But with the decline in COVID-19 cases, there has been an increase in smuggling. In order to deal with the dilemma at hand, Pakistan needs to ensure that in addition to the detailed form and documentation PSO requires during tender bidding processes, they also go through thorough background checks of private sector companies, especially traders. Stringent checks like the one a regular individual faces while opening a mere bank account should be scaled to match the importance of a secure and consistent petroleum supply. If not done, it is inevitable that Pakistan is setting the stage to face another petroleum shortage.